What's going on, guys? So, a series that I'm going to kind of start going through and progressing into is I'm going to start from just your basic beginner type, just getting into trapping, going over some of the stuff that you need and some of the stuff that's going to help you along the way. So, it's going to be kind of like a beginner series, and then we're going to keep progressing and going into more of like a mid-level, intermediate, and then more advanced. So I had a lot of guys reach out to me, and I really appreciate the advice and the suggestions. But that we're going to dive into just basic traps, getting your equipment ready, your anchors, everything that you're going to need to be successful out on the line. With that being said, I have a plethora of traps out in front of me. Anything from your round jaws to your square jaws to your wire levers, to your cast jaws, your laminations. So it's all going to be covered. Anything from dogless to dog on to we can even talk about positrip pans and modifications as we go along. But so some things I want to talk to you about is choosing the trap that's right for you and right for your trap line. There's all kinds of great traps out there. They all work relatively the same. There are some that are better. There are some that are less, I would say, subpar, but they still get the job done. So just kind of looking at what's out in front of me, I will say this is the trap that I run. This is your No BS Junior wire lever, dogless, and I got it set up on twist link chain, swivels, and then I just run a small, like a 14, 15 inch super stake on it. You want to make sure that you're checking your regs in your state, so your state laws, your state requirements, to make sure that everything that you're setting is within the, it's all legal. Like this is a very well built heavy duty trap. It's the extreme, so bigger than the junior, but a phenomenal trap. Very heavy though, a lot of weight on this trap. So that's something to think about whenever you're out trapping. Do you want to be lugging around a bunch of heavy traps? Yeah, they're going to last you a lifetime, but maybe you can get away with something that's a little bit smaller on the round jaw side. Then I had taken a Duke number 4 and I modified it. So, and when I say modified it, I put the rod style dog on it. I put the positrip pan system on it, and bubble tipped, base plated, laminated, did everything to make this. And this is Ohio legal for where I trap. So then some other just basic, you have your Bridger number 3. This is your dogless. Very, very well done trap. Has the number 2 chain on it. Then you have your number 3 dog on with the dog. Same setup, same lamination as you would have with the Bridger number 2. Lighter trap, 4-coiled. I would recommend going 4-coiled. It's just going to give you a little bit more speed. Not so much more power, but it's going to give you more speed. And the only thing that the benefit is breaking up through that crust. So the quickness, I guess, would give you power to bust through if you have a little bit of frozen ground. So then we have like a MB 650. Cast jaws, round jaws, 4-coiled. It has that, that positrip pan on it, and it has a different dog type mechanism. The one thing I don't like about this trap is there is no loose jaw on this. So if you want to flip your jaw up and you want to be mindful and cognizant of not catching yourself, but there's a lot of guys that run these and have a lot of success with them. These two are about, almost equal in my eye. This is the Duke number 3 round jaw, This is the Victor number 3 round jaw. The only difference is this one's already 4-coiled. You would have to definitely do some modification to this one to get it trap ready in my book. I don't like that it has the side swivel. I would want it to be base plated as well. But, you know, a little bit lighter. And the round jaws have been, you know, quote unquote, known to bust up through the ground quicker. I haven't seen a huge difference in the ratio from that to what I run, but guys swear on it, and I'm not going to be one to you know, break any myths. This is not Mythbusters. Now this is a nice little trap. This is the number 2 Alpha. It's just like the MB, but it's dogless. It seems to do really well. It's quick. The test that I ran through does extremely well. It has your good crunch-proof swivels, nice little bit of chain on it. So, you know, those all do well. And then if you could imagine, you would have an MB 550, but you can also get the Duke Pro 550s. And the only difference really is the pan. So you'd go from this style pan to a square style pan. These are really great traps, especially if you're starting out, something that you can take right out of the box and go set. I would definitely recommend to this or the Duke or even the No BS Junior if you're going to be starting out. The Juniors are going to be a little bit more pricey, as opposed to, say, the Dukes are going to be on your cheaper side of the trap. And another trap that's round jaw that I really think needs to be noted on is your Montgomery traps. So the number 3 is what this is. And the only thing I would do is base plate this and put a D-ring in it and run it like that. A lot of things need to be talked about too if you're going to be keeping these animals for the live market. The weight of these traps can be a little bit cause a little bit of heartache to the animal, whether that's upper extremity damage in the shoulder or, you know, paw damage. So something that I would recommend is if you're going to be running a live market to get these 1.5 softies. These are the Victor 1.5 soft catches. I would 4-coil them, and you know they're already at the base plate, so I would run these, have no problem. The thing that you need to worry about if you're going to be running for live market, or if you're wanting to pin them up and save the integrity of the leg and keep the foxes healthy or the coyote as healthy as possible. The weight of the trap. So talk to a gentleman, and he catches a lot of live market, and he always tells me, you want the trap to be around 20 ounces or less, 21 ounces or less. So these Victors, they definitely hit that. I know MB's coming out with a 450, and I think they're going to be around 23 ounces. So you could probably get away with that. It also is going to depend on the time frame that you check. So if you're letting them set in there for a while and you can't get to them, you're going to have a little bit more wear and tear from just them being in the trap, them trying to work the set a little bit while they're in the trap. But there's all kinds of traps out there. The ones that I would recommend that you, if you're starting out as a beginner, or you're starting out and you're wanting to get into it and you're not wanting to do any modification, I would look at the MBs. I would look at the Duke Pros, the 550s, and I would look at the No BS Juniors. And then if you're going to be just using something that's dependable, lightweight, I would look at maybe your Duke number 3s, your Victor number 3s. If you're wanting to save the integrity of the animal, of their foot and everything, and do the best that you can, I would look at the softies, the Victor 1.5 softies, even the Bridger 1.65s. The soft catches would do well, but this is just kind of a smorgasbord for me to go over with you guys and just kind of give you a little bit of insight onto that. So with that being said, this series is going to keep progressing, and we're going to just keep pushing forward. So hang in there, guys. Till next time.